Newsroom is our political expert, Brian Sobel. Brian, you talked to some pollsters today. What happened? How did they get it so wrong?
Well, I talked with a couple of national pollsters who told me the same thing. Not only did they get it wrong, one said, we just swung and missed. They talked about problems in polling to include oversampling high-propensity voters, not getting into the weeds to find people that don't vote very often, to try to ferret out any movement. Donald Trump talked about this Trump movement of people who weren't very vocal, and they were there. And these pollsters now are going to go back and take a look at their methodology, Frank, and see where they made mistakes. But oversampling in high propensity voters is at least one thing they pointed to.
Hey, Brian, Hillary Clinton gave a beautiful concession speech this morning. It was incredibly painful. You could feel the emotion in her voice, and you felt for her. Like, people are saying, why didn't she show more of that during the campaign? I'm just wondering, what do you think? Do you think last night she should have come out, though, to all those thousands of people who waited there so long and had poured their hearts and souls into her campaign, to give them a little something rather than wait till this morning?
I think maybe in retrospect she'll come to that conclusion. She had thousands of people there. She knew the decision that she was going to take in the next hours. Perhaps she should have, Julie, come out and appeared before them. They had been there for many, many hours. But her statement today was very eloquent and talked about unity. And frankly, President Barack Obama's statement today talked about the same thing, saying we're Americans first, not Republicans, not Democrats, but Americans. He even used the word patriots first.
Well, Brian, right now, speaking of unity, this country is so divided. What does Donald Trump have to do between now and when he is sworn into office to try to bring this country together?
I think he's got to put forward his near-term plan, his 100-day plan after he's inaugurated, and some of those plans must include projects and infrastructure and things that will deliver jobs, and he's got to remove some of the rhetoric that we've been hearing, because now we're talking about somebody who's the president-elect. We're not on the campaign trail. The charges going back and forth between the campaigns, the time for that has ended, and now he's got to govern. And I think the more he talks to the American people and talks about what his plans are, the more comfort he'll provide to folks on the street.
And, Brian, what does a Trump presidency mean to President Obama's legacy and Obamacare?
The Obama legacy will take a hit, because Hillary Clinton's plan was to take the Obama legacy and give it a third term. That's not going to happen now. So things like Obamacare are going to go through reforms if President-elect Trump has his way. And other things that Barack Obama talked about and wanted to do will probably be set aside, to the extent that trade agreements can be renegotiated, and other things that happened during the Obama administration, those are going to change as well. But Donald Trump's been very honest about all of that.
Brian, as always, thank you for your insight. We'll talk to you again during our next hour.
Perfect.